mute right now. E-man too.
Okay, and we're starting 3, 2, 1.
What is it?
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah.
Ain't it fun?
Hey guys, good evening and welcome to my exciting channel. We're discussing Mandela effects of the like. Thank you for joining in. Welcome all Mandela effectians. And boy, do we have a great show for you guys. We got our special guest Brian S. Stavely back with us. Hey Brian.
What's up?
We got MS E-Man. What's up, E-Man?
You have him muted.
Yeah. How you doing? How you doing?
Hey, good to see you, man. Good to see you back, brother. We got Rebecca. Hey, Rebecca. Rebecca's from our chat. She's still new with us, but give her a nice warm welcome, okay, everyone? And we have Seeker of Truth with us. What's up, Corey?
Hey, not too much, guys. Enjoyed the show.
Yeah, thank you. And we got Carol. Carol,
Hi.
how's it going?
Good.
Carol, who is that with you? Who's
Brucey B.
What?
Brucey B.
Okay. Awesome. Good to have both of you.
Thank you very much.
All right. So first on the agenda tonight, I wanted to talk about a couple of Mandela effects here. Uni Mundi brought up a brand new Mandela effect with what is it? Some artwork. The Mona Lisa, of course, has changed again, and now she has her arms resting on a chair. What looks like a chair, and she's actually sitting down on something. There's actually a little bit of residue that Theresa found me, and let me share it with you guys. Okay, so this is how it is now with the armrest.
Mm.
You see the left hand, or actually her right hand is over her left. See that on the armrest? Okay. This is the real painting. You see, it's like she's sitting in a chair now. You guys remember that, or were her arms resting on her lap? What do you guys remember? Let me ask those of you in the hangout here. What do you remember?
I never remember. I didn't even realize there was any furniture before.
Me neither.
I thought she was standing, honestly.
Well, being an artist, I realized I seen the picture in New York actually up close, and the chair is not prominent. Like you don't see it, but like you can notice that she had to be sitting on something. But
right.
I mean,
the dark folds of her cloth and the furniture are so dark that it's almost invisible.
yes.
My degree's in art also.
Right,
Yeah.
and I think the most attention was for her face. So
Yes.
that's why it's so light, and the bottom was so
Carol.
dark.
Yes.
Carol, do you remember her smiling like this?
Yes. I mean, her smile has always that, and the fact that her eyes were painted so that literally she looks like she's looking at you from any direction.
That is crazy. Yeah, I'm looking at my screen, and she's still looking at me no matter where I go. Do you remember the veil on her head? Did she always have that veil?
Yes.
So I'm not remembering that.
Hey, do me a favor, Brian. Go back to that picture.
Yep.
Zoom in. Because it looked like she really smiling. Look like a dimple on the side of her jaw.
Like a what?
She had like a straight. Her expression was straight.
Like a dimple. Zoom in a little bit on that picture that you just showed. It looked like a dimple now on her face. Like she really smiling. Right there on the side. You see that little dimple?
Right there?
Yeah.
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 What? Was that always there? Oh, wait, there we go. Hold on.
Oh, I ain't never seen a dimple. She got a little dimple going.
No.
Never seen that either.
So weird.
Even recently, seeing what I perceived to be the change from her having the straight expression to now having like a smirk almost, I still didn't notice the dimple till you said it just now. I wonder if that's new.
Yeah, I'm like, I ain't never seen no dimple on her face. So she always
Oh,
have a dimple?
that's the thing. Like, how do we know what's real anymore when they keep making the changes, multiple changes?
Yes, yeah, it's true. Like when I
Well, this,
painted it back in art school, like it was. I mean, that was almost 20 years ago. So, I mean, for me to remember if I drew a dimple or not, I mean, it's kind of hard to remember.
This
even
is
if we don't know what is necessarily real, like, because if it keeps changing, if it's hard to define what's real, I'm still
Yeah,
gonna go by what I remember, and then even if that gets foggy at some point, I'm still gonna know that it keeps changing. And that's the important thing. We have proof that this keeps changing.
yeah,
That's the
exactly.
big thing. That's the big thing. Whether we get confused on what reality is or not, that's bound to happen. I mean, look what's happening to us. It's the biggest mind f ever. You know what I mean?
it is.
Of course that's gonna
Right.
of course that's gonna happen to us. But as long as we know that this is happening and we have so much residue for like thousands of examples, I mean it's
Hey, you do us a favor. Your mic is real low.
oh sorry, can you hear me better now?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
There's some residue here that Sheena Redway found on Facebook, and it says here the Mona Lisa from New York Post. And by the way, the E and the W's merged, and E and the W. Look at that. But anyway, the Mona Lisa, known as in Italian as the Gioconda, hangs in Paris's Louvre Museum, and is possibly the most famous painting in the world, depicting a young woman with an enigmatic smile, her hands gently folded on her lap. And look in the article; it actually shows a picture where, I mean, that's the actual picture. You see it, right? If I can zoom in,
Yeah.
they're calling it on the hands on the lap, but now it's not. So that's residue right there. Thanks, Sheena.
And that's in the New York Post.
Yeah, and look at Whoopi Goldberg. Her hands are on her lap in the Mona Lisa. She does a Mona Lisa gaze. See?
I didn't know she ain't smiling.
Yeah.
Look like she ready to beat you up.
This is probably the funniest thing I've ever seen. This is longest tongue in the world paints Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa. There we go. Look at that. The tongue is painting it. And when it gets to the very end here, where are the hands? Looks like they're on the lap. Anyway, I found some more residue on Twitter. Twitter is a good source oftentimes for residue because what people are remembering in their
people.
social media. Mona Lisa places hands on lap. Okay, there we go. We got rickrolled there. Okay.
Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Yeah.
So anyway, the one that really
Look at his
bugged me,
legs.
huh?
Look at his legs. Look at his legs, Brian. That's like
Okay,
ridiculous.
listen.
I know
It's
there's so
grotesque.
many things wrong with it.
Well, one of the things I noticed was the hand positions. Like, look at it. It almost looks like his fingers aren't straight anymore. It looks like he's trying to pinch something with his forefinger and his thumb, like saying, "Okay, maybe you have a little bit of something left."
He's been hanging out with the finger
He
too
trying to
much. He's been
close
hanging out
that.
with
He
the
trying to
finger.
close that thing to put over his body.
I know you need to put some clothes on, but look at his feet position. This is what really got me. This is a brand new Mandela now that his foot used to be the right foot used to be turned this way.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember
that
more arms too.
changed the foot. Like
Yeah.
for me.
what they are now, you got the right foot pointing forward, and this right foot pointing forward. The left feet are pointing to the side.
That look like that hurt. Oh, it look like his leg broke.
Yeah, that couldn't even.
Now this
Listen, this is like the thinker. It's like in the most uncomfortable position when he's got the elbow on the wrong leg, like leaning over with the hand in the awkward position. Look at this guy's legs. I remember more arms too. Do you remember more arms, Brian?
I do. I remember 6 arms and 4 legs.
Yeah, I do too. I remember another set of arms.
He's got some kind of wristband right here on his right.
And
Quarterbacks wear with they read the
Oh,
playbook.
I thought that was some dirt on your computer screen.
for whatever reason, he's got Jim Morrison hair. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Kind of a Jim Morrison.
Going
Yeah.
through to the other side.
Yeah.
Look how every
I
picture
remember
virtually changed now to this new thing where the foot is now facing forward. I remember Evan Powers did a video a while back, and both feet were turned sideways on the outside, and he did a video change where the one right foot here turned forward. Here, this is what I'll show you. This is what I remember. When Evan Powers did his video, the foot was turned to the side, both outer feet. And then the one foot in the middle was facing straight. That's a little bit of residue that I found. And this one here also. Is that something you guys recall too? Or am I the only one here that remembers it like this?
Wait, what?
I changed.
Like that?
The foot changed, and I didn't see the video that you're talking about, but yeah.
How about
There's
the
the
fact
change.
that he's got a bunch of pubic hair now too? I don't remember that.
Gosh.
Did he grow some balls or what?
No, he's got pubic hair on his head and on his jaw.
Yeah.
Pubic hair on top of his head too.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I'm sorry, I've tried to keep it PG here, but
I know. It's
Hey, looking at a naked man, you can't keep that PT.
anyways, let's turn to the chat. Let's see who's all here tonight.
I got them all down here, Brian. Finbar's here, Vince, Sheena, Glow is here, Gloria, and Sharon, Children of Light, 2020 websites here, Grace, Sandy, Monster, Salted Cedar as normal. He's always here.
Hey, what's up, Salted? Hey, Glow. Hey, Sandy. All right, so let's see. Hey, E-Man, tell us about the AI. You were telling us something about the AI, and you were talking about that earlier.
Oh yeah, I was saying that the AI, they want the AI to control everything, and so with these real IDs, they're gonna get the AIs to sift through everybody's data because they can't do it. It's humanly impossible, and so they want to make the AI seem to be as a god. Because if you look at everything that they're saying that the AI is, that it's the answer to everything. It trusts this AI, and it can do miracles and wonders for you. And so before long, people are going to take that as truth. If this machine can do everything for us, we'll trust it, and I think that's just a way to keep their narrative going, because they wanted to make it like a god. They already have a church charter that says worship the AI, and it was established by one of the old Google executives.
You want by getting your resume in shape quickly and easily.
Oh, guys, are you there? That was weird.
Yeah.
What was that all about resume?
Somebody had a commercial playing.
Oh wow, that's so weird.
You know what that was? I was telling too much truth.
Well, we have Carol's here. Carol, can you tell us a little bit about the butterfly effect and what it is?
Well, I'll
You guys-
let Bruce talk about that.
Okay, guys.
It's just like how like one thing affects another thing. Like 5 years ago, my house burned down to the ground. I mean, I lost everything I owned, and that day was like the worst day of my life. But if that didn't happen, I would never be listening to you guys on the radio today, or I would never be talking with Carol. So everything happens for a reason. You know what I mean? Even though that was like the worst day of my life, I would not be here today because my house didn't burn down 5 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like everything just happens. Like everything you do has effect on life, even if it's a little thing. That's what I think of. That's how I describe it.
So no one thing is too small to
No.
make a change.
No.
It could be the tiniest infraction can make a change.
Well,
A
you could
whole
think of
ripple.
it as a drop of rain that winds up in a pond that eventually goes into a river and into the ocean.
That makes a typhoon.
And it becomes a wave, and that may be the wave that winds up being a rogue wave or a typhoon or something of that nature. I mean, there is a cause and effect to everything.
Yeah.
And so you can, I had a friend years ago that got into goal setting to the point that he actually wrote a book, thought he had defined it. He was ready to go to the publisher. And he eventually got confronted with the fact that he missed one of the points. And the point is that you don't go out here and you make a game plan, and maybe you can get it pretty close to how you think the steps that you need to take are the ones that you in fact do take to get a desired outcome. But it's the fact that you are pursuing the goal rather than dictating the steps. And let me put it in another example. In Christianity, we talk a lot about prayer, and we talk about asking and we receive. But a lot of people forget that biblically, we're also told to knock on the door. So, in other words, it's not just about asking. It's not just about verbalizing or mentally defining what it is that we want, but we are being told to actually go out and take a physical action after we do that. So those two things together are what, when I lectured, a lot of what I pointed out is that you can ask God for a lot of things, but God doesn't always have the power. He has to work through the things that are around us and the people that are around us. And God isn't necessarily going to be a God that taps somebody on the shoulder and sends them down to your front door. Sometimes we have to get out past our front door into our community or state or whatever, for the right person and situation to find us. And that can happen relatively easily because we put the verbal request out there. But if we never take the actions, and what Bruce was trying to say is that he was living a nice, neat, and tidy life, thinking life was going to go one particular way, and he was, he had a particular house, and every view of himself were related to having that house and maintaining things. But once he was forced out of his home environment, then he wound up taking the actions that made him move from Massachusetts to Georgia, which connected him to a whole group of people and situations. And so on and so forth, that never would have occurred had his nephew not set the house on fire and it burned down that day.
I can imagine
Any comments?
that
Guys,
was
any
a
comments?
hard thing for you guys to go through, but I mean, you met each other, like, like it's
fate.
yeah, it's fate. Yeah, exactly.
Well, the Presbyterians, do subscribe to, they're one of the Christian groups that do just prescribe to predestiny. I had an astrologer sit down with me years ago and talk about the fact that, God gives us a life map, and basically we have point A where we enter this physical plane, and we have point B, which is where we exit. And all we're really doing in the process is deciding, are we walking it? Are we going to go in a roundabout way? Are we going to fly it? Are we going to backtrack? Are we going to bicycle? Are we roller skating? Are we skateboarding? Are we, taking a train, an airplane? Those kinds of things are within our control, but there is a destiny or a path that is ours. And so it is a mixture of our free will choices that interact with what our destiny is, that determines whether we're doing things harder or easier, or we're just doing things on average.
Well, okay. Now, I hate to be the disagreeable with that one. Your destiny only you won't have free will if you only got one way to go. That's just, I mean, if you got only one way to go, it's not a free will. Now, if you're in God's will, and when you let Him guide you, and when you get into God, then your destiny is set. If you choose to veer off into another direction, He re-navigates you back on the path if you allow Him. But if you veer off and you chose to go left when He's telling you to go straight, your destiny, you have changed your path. The destiny that God has for us is solid, but He don't make you follow the destiny that He has for you. It's your choice to choose His way. If you choose not His way, that don't mean you were destined to go to jail. It's because you decided you didn't want to take the path that He had for you. You wanted to do your own thing. That's why free will is very important. And so God said if you renew your mind and put Him first, that He will direct your path. But if you don't trust Him with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding, He can't direct you nowhere. Because
So using okay, go on, my bad.
And so that's Proverbs 3 and 5. I've quoted scriptures. And so if you don't choose His way, your way could be whatever you choose for it. That's why you have Mormons, you have people that don't believe in God. He didn't carve out that destiny for them not to believe in God. They chose not to believe in God. He didn't carve out a destiny that a person will murder people in Boston. That wasn't that destiny. That was just the choice that he made. That's the veering off on the side streets and going down the bumpy road and going a different way than the path that God would have had for him. God said in the Bible that he desired that no man perish. But he know that his desires is not going to be man's desires, because a lot of people going to perish. And you can have a desire for a lot of stuff. I don't mean it's going to happen.
Well, fundamentally, I agree with you, but let me give you an example, and this gets back to that reason I'm a volunteer with Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and that is that my brother-in-law was the person who was killed. He was from Iowa originally, and he and my sister were living here in Georgia. And I chose to move from Oklahoma, which is my sister and I grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we both, I followed her to Georgia just to do things different. But the reality is that we were tremendously struck by the fact that there it was a woman who also grew up in Oklahoma. And my brother-in-law took a contract. He had his own company, and it placed him on a construction site, road resurfacing job in West Palm Beach, Florida. And so he was down there working, and she chose to go out and meet friends one day, and drove as a DUI driver. And she turned into the construction site, killed him, the man standing next to him, and turned back out into traffic and dramatically rear-ended the car in front of her, injuring that driver and damaging that property. And it has been jaw-dropping in many respects, because where Marilyn and I grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, this woman had grown up in Oklahoma City. In fact, I learned enough about her to realize that the chances were she went to the same elementary school where I did my student teaching, because I was a little older than she. And I probably had her in my art class when I was doing my student teaching. And her family, many of them came from Oklahoma, as did our family. She waived a trial, so we went to the sentencing. And we were struck by the fact that at every turn we got confronted with this woman and her family from Oklahoma, and that hasn't stopped since she was sentenced to 20 years. She and her husband formed a documentary film company, and so they have been in the arts-oriented program, as my family has also been. And so when you think about two people who started life basically in Oklahoma, connecting to a third person that has the kind of impact of an accident of this magnitude. And since that time, because again, we all have family members back in Oklahoma, we've had situations now where other extended family members have been in social situations, and the conversation has come back to basically what this woman did. And the listeners, people who were in know of the situation, recognized that this could be none other than the family member of the woman who basically killed my brother-in-law in Florida. And this has happened several times. So you can say, I mean, we probably would have met under other circumstance. That would be a destiny situation. We certainly had backgrounds and connections. Did we have to meet because she killed my brother-in-law choosing to be a DUI driver? Or could we have met because of our fine arts background, or the fact that we all had family members in Oklahoma? So we could have had the destiny to meet, but we, depending on whether we were embracing God or not, would be the difference whether that meeting, which was predestined, was going to be an easier, more fun and interesting situation, or a dramatic one such as what we experienced.
But how she met me was fate. I say that, sorry.
So
The whole gist of it, the joke, and if I go back to the Mandela effect, because I know me and Brian been on this thing journey for about 2.5 years now. What I've learned with the Mandela effect that it's nothing that's steady. It's nothing that's can be unmovable. It's nothing that can be time don't exist. Because to go back in time and to change things, or even not even going back in time, to change matter from a structure that it wasn't to something it is now, that means it's no finite. It's nothing that's in concrete. Everything can be moved. Everything
Exactly.
can be shooken.
Yeah. I
And
I
so,
agree with you, man. Like we've been watching it for, I mean, some people woke earlier, but for me anyway, it's been almost 3 years. And like, I mean, we can talk about so much, like the Bible, especially you're good at that, man, like being a preacher and stuff. But I mean, like, I mean, it's daily. Like, there's so much stuff like that,
Oh man.
I
It's
mean,
more
man,
than just like daily. It's like every
so
conversation
Guys,
I have with people, I'm just picking up on this stuff. They
yeah,
always say things that never existed. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I was at work the other day and my boss started singing Mr. Rogers, and he said a beautiful day in the neighborhood, not this. It's
yeah. Of course, yeah,
all the time. Everybody that quotes anything or sings any song or quotes a movie, or it's like it happens to me like 5, 6 times a day. It seems that might be an exaggeration, but it happens to me a few times a day. Like plus the new effects that we see pop up. It used to be like 3 to 5 a week. Now it's like 3 to 5 every single day. You know what I mean?
Yes,
There
and
was some big ones last
I
week.
agree with that. Yes, everything is fluid for the same reason that if we were talking Mandela effect or the butterfly effect, I mean, again, I would hold to my example that Bruce and I might have met under different circumstances again, if it were our destiny, because I think God has the bigger plan. We're the ones who get hung up in all the little stuff. And whether we're having a Christ-centered life or not is the difference in how easily or how much effort it takes to follow the path that we're put on. And I think some of us don't always get it the first time around. I mean, of course, that gets into theories of other religions about living life after life and so on and so forth. And the fact is that we have our belief system, and we're very clear that things are extremely fluid for the reason that there are multiple type things. If you get into time bands, either periods of time that are superimposed on each other, and maybe there is one time band that is bleeding through to something else. I mean, there are a tremendous number of theories in this, and in the end, if I were going to simplify that, we just simply say the fact is that we have an interaction of our free will. We're made by our creator to be creative people, and we're deciding whether we're fighting the flow or we're in that flow as we do what we do in our life.
what the difference between the situation that's going on now and what you're talking about is um I didn't ask for Fruit Loops or my movie to change. That wasn't in my will. That happened without me doing anything. And I didn't ask if true, because I'm not a doctor and I don't have a personal X-ray machine. But if true with the photographs and the information that we see on the internet and in books, that things in our bodies have changed. Has nothing to do with me, my interaction or lack thereof. It's happening without my without my permission, without my agreements to it. And we look at the Mandela effect. Yes, the Mandela effect is a term, but the Bible says that this time was going to happen. Now, did he say that he was going to cause everything that's happening to happen? No, he didn't. Because the word says it's going to happen, just like he said it's going to be destroyed with fire next time. He didn't say that he would do it. He just told you what the consequences was. And how we get there, it don't say. How the Mandela effect was going to happen, he said he's going to give the devil rule over time and laws. And he's going to be able to divide times and times and times. And so if that's the case, if Second Thessalonians is true, where it says that he was going to give him all power of lying signs and wonders. And no, matter of fact, it says all powers and lying signs and wonders. So it wasn't the same thing. And so if that's the truth, he gets to dictate how he wanted to play his symphony. He gets to orchestrate how he wants to put things and how because the Antichrist has to happen. That's destiny. Yes, that's destiny. How we get there, I don't know if it was destiny or it was because of our lack of respect for God. Because the world in general has lost respect in God. In general, whole world, we don't respect him the way we used to. We don't honor him. We don't even stand up for his. We don't even stand up for his thing that we know is right. We accept. Instead of us being the salt of the earth, we are becoming the influence. Instead of us being the influencers, we are being influenced. And so, if that's a reason why this situation is happening as fast as it is, then that's on us because God said, if my people that are called by my name will humble themselves and turn from their wicked ways and seek my face, then I will hear from heaven and heal the land. The land is sick, but ain't nobody turning to him.
No, Eman, I don't know if you ever heard me say this, but since the ME, I've been the closest to God than I've ever been. So I don't know if that's the same with other people, but
Same.
it is with me. You know what I mean?
Same.
And I don't think, I mean, I know there's less people going to church, but I think we're the church. Like the church is inside us, right? Like God's in our heart. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, I mean, and what I'm saying, I'm not talking about and as a fraction of people. We only a fraction.
Yeah.
This community is very fraction. It's not even. I don't even think it's 300 people that really cares about this situation. You know, you may have some people that talk about it like it's a trend or just because it's something to talk about, but it's nothing that they really engage in.
You
And
know how
so,
I feel, even though it's not that many people. Like, you know how we talked about before. Maybe you weren't on the show that night or you didn't hear it, but we talked about like how some days there's just a ton of Mandela effects presenting themselves to us, and I feel it's like our collective consciousness and our energy kind of all bouncing off and feeding off each other. Do you think that like because we're feeding off each other so much, do you think some of the asleep people will kind of feed off our energy and maybe it'll kind of widen?
I mean,
There's a wonderful author called Ken Keyes, and he wrote the 100 Monkey Principle, and that is the theory that, and it really isn't a theory. It was the observation in several instances around the world of done by observation of scientists that when you get to about 100 of people doing the same thing, then all of a sudden there is a multiplication that occurs that creates an enlightenment or an understanding among many, many more living things. and certainly that's not the only time that you have this observation. He's just one of the authors that I'm familiar with. But
I think there's more than 300 too, E-Man. I think there's
I
way
mean,
more.
what I'm
yes,
saying
I
is,
think so too.
I think
and
so.
what I'm saying, as more people are woke, yes, they know about the Mandela effect, but I'm talking about like people that's trying to wake up other people or trying to get the information out. And you
Yeah,
can know
all right.
you can know that I got $1 million to give away, but if you don't tell nobody, nobody will get that $1 million. You can know it for yourself.
I see what you mean. There's a difference because there's a lot of people that are even in the Mandela effect groups and they know about it and they think it's whatever. They think it's freaky. They think it's cool, whatever they do. But they don't risk talking about it on their private page and tell friends and family about it and stuff. They don't
Right.
really care.
Right.
Right, and they don't want to. They don't want to get shamed, or they don't want to be called crazy, and so because of that, I always tell people, I enjoy these shows and I enjoy being on these shows, but that's why I love Brian and EYA and people that constantly getting subscribers because that makes me know that that we are bearing fruits. We are still increasing. When I started seeing these numbers stay stagnant and then there's no growth, I mean people not being woke. And see,
Accelerating. It's accelerating a lot, right? Wouldn't you say so?
right, yeah, and so,
Lately, especially the last
but
couple months.
you'd be surprised how I stop police on my street. They ride down my street, and Chicago is hot, so I see them a lot. And so I stop every time I see one, I flag them down, and I ask them, "Do you know about the Mandela effect?" First thing they tell me is no. So you got people that serve and protect that don't even know what the Mandela effect is. So
Oh, the police
it's
are going to be some of
billions.
the heaviest indoctrinated. They're some of the least likely to look into things like this.
And so it's billions. And I did that in Walmart too. I go to Walmart and I take Mandela effect awakening cards. That's what I call them. And every time I go and I talk to somebody, they don't know what the Mandela effect is. And so because we're a community and it's easy to think that our number is great because we see our community as a big community. We're just a fraction of we ain't even a percent of the
No, not at all.
population.
Oh
And
no,
so
less than 5%, maybe less than 1%.
no, it's
Whoa,
less than
whoa,
it's a percent of the percent.
I think it's the trying that is the main thing. You keep trying, right?
Yeah,
Oh, well, we're waking up.
we need
People are
all
waking up
hands on
fast.
deck. We
Yeah, of
need
course.
all hands on deck because if it's a cynical thing, and if it's a revelation or biblical, and if you ain't a believer, then that's
You
then
got
that's
it?
over. But if you're
Well, I
a
think it's
believer,
supernatural. That's
and
why
right, and
I
if it's
think
Can you hear
the
me
supernatural,
other
now?
topic. Yeah, we can hear you.
Rebecca, you're
Sharpie.
fine. Can
hi
I hear
Rebecca,
you?
we can hear you
Hi.
now.
Rebecca,
Okay.
hi.
Well,
Yeah.
let her talk.
Hi.
Let her
I
talk.
finally got it to work.
Yes, poor girl couldn't talk.
Oh man, hey Rebecca, I'm
I've
interested in
been
your
biting my
story.
fingernails this whole time. I'm sorry.
I think
No,
it's our internet.
Hi, we're interested to hear your story. Tell us about maybe how long you've been affected. What are your biggest effects?
Oh. Oh wow.
yeah. Go ahead.
I've
It's
really been
your
affected my
time.
whole life. I've I've been affected since I was like 5. I didn't know that it was something called a Mandela effect
Yeah.
until about 6 months ago. But I had an experience where I drowned and I had an out of body experience. And then after that, everything just kind of went wackadoodle. And so I remember having conversations with my mom about things changing and arguing that things were not staying the same from one minute to the next. And she, my whole life, it's been basically, you have a bad memory, you're misremembering, you're big imagination. I got told a lot too. And then about 6 months ago, just by happen chance, I came across a site and it was talking about the Mandela, and I started reading everyone's experiences, and I went, "Oh, that's what this is. This is what I've been going through for the last, 40 years of my life." So, eye-opening, of course. Now, when I talk to family about it, I had an experience about 2 weeks ago. I was told I was leading people to hell talking about this. That I was a fearmonger, that I was creating confusion and chaos, and I explained what it was, and I explained my position on it, and just kind of left it as that and kind of walked away. And you can't make people see what they don't want to see. And that same person came to me and said, so I was watching the news, and Canada seems to be a lot closer to Michigan. It's actually coming down to the sides of Michigan now. Is that what you're talking about? And I went, oh, it's all wrong. The map's all wrong now. And so now that person is starting to see, she still gets overwhelmed. She's like, I can't talk about it for long periods of time. I get overwhelmed. But she's starting to understand it a little bit better. And so I'm hopeful, but it's difficult because people don't, they get stuck in one thing.
Yeah.
It's Theresa. Hi, Theresa.
Hey, I've been charging my phone, guys. I'm at 37.
Okay, Rebecca just got on, so she's been trying hard to talk, so we're listening to her.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Yeah. Okay,
no
it's
problem. Okay.
No problem.
We love you, Theresa.
We do. You do a lot for the community.
Yes. And then in the community this week, I came on tonight going, this has been a crazy week. I don't know about anyone else, but I've had so many things. I had the flag. I was like, oh, I have to do. It was a flag flying outside my work. I went, what's the flag? And I got my camera out. I took the picture. I looked at the picture. The picture was now what the new. I look up and it was completely different. And I went, literally in that amount of time, me recognizing it and taking the picture, it changed. So I've had experiences like that all week. So yeah, it's been interesting. It's an interesting ride. And I think that once you become aware of it, and it's almost like, oh, it's that again, and you see it. But what I think is happening to a lot of people, including the person I was talking about, they've been told, or it's been implied, or they've assumed that it's their memory, it's their experience, it's not anything weird. And nothing's happening. There's no Mandela effect. It's just my mind. And so because they've been indoctrinated into, and that if they say anything, they're crazy, they get locked in the fear. And I don't think it's that they're blind to it. I don't even think that they're unaware of it. It's just that they're so afraid to speak out.
Yeah.
And acknowledge it, because then it will make it true.
And that's what I was talking about, the government. Want to make this situation.
I'm getting.
I heard you talking a little bit before.
Getting a little crosstalk. Huh? Go ahead, Rebecca.
I'm sorry. No, I heard a little bit at the beginning where you were talking, like before we actually got on air, that about the government, and I think that there is a lot to it. I'm not sure who said what, but we were talking about who's really in charge, and
Just one
I just
government.
say
I think it's all the governments. They're all together.
well, you're right, but I don't think it's the people we see. I
Yeah, I
don't.
know.
Definitely not.
I
Right.
think that they're the puppets. They're the
That's
voice. They're
Exactly what I was saying.
someone is pulling their strings and telling them do and how to do, and they
Oh,
just do it.
yeah, you mean like Senator Palpatine, like working
Yeah.
in the background.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I
they like
mean,
puppets. I mean, and
It's DC, Rome, and London. DC, Rome, and London. They're
they
pulling
get
all the strings.
they get put into place, and we gotta choose from what they marry they put in front of us. We don't really know them. We just choosing what they give us to choose from. And so if
The
somebody
lesser of
give
two
you,
evils.
if they give you an apple and an orange and a banana, and they lead you toward the apple, of course you're gonna vote for the apple. They say,
well,
well, the
and
banana is bad.
to me, I don't even feel like this last election we really had a choice. Was there really a choice between our two candidates? I
No,
mean,
they gave us
it's
two bad apples.
crazier.
But they gave us two bad
It,
apples, and then they
yeah.
made the better apple. They put all that the emails and all of that stuff. They even right a week before the election. They made sure that they put the information that this person can't be trusted. So you need to probably choose this one over here. You know, so if you got two bad apples, you still gonna eat a bad apple no matter which one you choose.
Exactly. And that's the sad. It's the sad fact. Yeah.
I gotta ask you guys something. Now, don't look. You gotta promise not to look, okay? Please promise me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys all remember Sally Jesse Raphael.
Yeah.
How was
Yeah.
her middle name spelled?
Jesse. Jes.
Jesse,
J.
just Jesse.
Yeah.
I'm
Chewy.
not a
SSE.
speller.
Well, look at. Oh my God! Look at it now.
Chewies.
No, it's got two S's and a Y. Jess.
What? No, 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 no. All
I'm
right,
dead
I'm on this
serious.
for residue.
I'm dead serious. What do you think about that one, Carol?
Wait, how does it spell now?
Carol, what do you remember?
I don't know that I do. So
It was a really
probably
popular show. Everybody,
AEL is probably the way I remember it.
no, what we're talking about here is that her middle name changed. It's so weird. But I have to give credit to someone else for this find. I got to give credit to Nathiel on this one. Sally Jesse Raphael is now Jesse with a Y, and he found some residue. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw this, but this is how it's happening. People's names are changing.
That's ridiculous. That's
Yeah.
ridiculous looking
No,
right there.
no. Sally SALLY JESSY
Yeah.
Raphael RAPH.
JESSY?
Yeah.
No, 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 that's wrong. How do you think people used to make fun of my glasses? They'd say, because they're bright red, they look from Sally Jesse Raphael. Yeah.
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 There's some residue.
That is so wrong. Yeah, I can find residue for that one.
Yeah, there's plenty of residue. That's a huge Mandela effect, guys.
Yeah.
Brian, did you ever talk
Wow.
about the Nirvana one?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You want to talk about it? That's cool.
Yeah. Go for it, Brian.
Can I present my screen real quick?
Yeah, I'm just sharing a little bit of residue here, finishing
All
up.
right, yeah. Once you're done.
Sally Jesse Raphael. Yahoo TV even remembers her name being in that way. Sally Jesse Raphael. That's crazy. All right, I'll get you a presentation.
It's crazy.
And by the way, Evin,
I know this.
will be on in about 10 minutes or so. Go ahead, Brian.
Coming on?
Yeah, I'll just do a couple real quick. I know that this isn't brand new. I know that a couple people put out videos on this maybe a month ago, maybe 2 months, maybe a few weeks. I'm not really sure, but I didn't really look at it right away. But then because there's just so many, you can't get to all of them all the time, right? Like there's just so many, so I missed some of them. But this one was big for me. Do you guys remember Nirvana when they did the Unplugged show on MTV, and it was like the biggest MTV Unplugged show ever?
Yeah. I remember it.
And
Yeah. I
okay,
think Brian, you and I talked about it.
yeah, but we didn't
Oh, you
we
just
didn't discuss
posted
it on
it.
the air.
You unplugged?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, the unplugged Nirvana, right? So when they
Yep.
go on the air and they have all these candles around them, this is a really iconic one because this is like Kurt Cobain's last show before he died, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
It was right, yeah.
Yeah.
And so this was played on MTV all the time, replayed. It was a really good show too. Like it
Yeah.
was really good. And they had all these white candles on the stage. I want to show you a picture real quick. I'm presenting, right?
Yeah,
Just
you presented.
This is not them.
look
You
at
gotta
the
flip-
candles.
hang on,
Look,
Brian, you gotta flip the camera. We can't see it. You gotta hit the green arrow.
green arrow on the side on the left.
Oh, sorry, hang on.
That's okay.
I just found residue.
Sally, Jesse, Raphael, yeah.
I just found residue for that.
All right, I'm sharing now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you
There
got
you go.
Okay, and check this out. This is a cover band. Okay, it's not. I'm not claiming it's Nirvana, but you know, like with cover bands, like they do with Residue, they seem to sing the lyrics the way we remember. They seem to imitate things like we remember. Parodies of shows do this. You see the
Right.
white candles in the background? That's because they're imitating the Unplugged by Nirvana. That's clearly what they're doing. And this
Exactly.
is a screen grab from a video where they're playing Nirvana. They are definitely playing Nirvana in this. Now, let me show you what the Nirvana video looks like. Check this out. The white candles, iconic. This was iconic. This was huge. Like, I've seen this episode probably 50 times. MTV played the crap out of it. Look at the white candles. They're all black now.
Yep.
And I'll play the video a little. I got the volume muted. I don't know what you want to do, Brian.
Just
too
don't
loud,
play
I don't
too
know.
much of it because of copyright. But
you can't play the volume too much. Maybe like 7 seconds.
Volume's off. I got the volume completely off.
What song is it? Can you just play it for a second? What song is that? It's Come As You Are?
Come As You Are. Come As You Are. Look at all the black candles, Brian.
Oh my god.
That was all white candles,
Yeah.
100%.
they
You
were.
guys agree?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Yeah.
All white
That's
candles.
reminiscent of the John Lynch changing from white to black.
Yes.
Yes.
The
Exactly.
The Imagine video. Yep. It happened. I noticed them at the same time too. I did. Other people had the video, so I forget who I saw it from. But yeah, I think it was Moneybags video that I saw. Yeah, so I saw them around the same time. This is
Who
just
found this Mandela effect? By chance, you found it?
I first saw it on Moneybags channel.
Okay. Well, we gotta give him credit for the find.
Brian?
Oh yeah, for sure. His channel's great. I find a lot of stuff on his channel.
Yeah, he's great. Theresa, are you there?
Yeah, I want to know who's the one who found this Sally, Jesse, Raphael, because I'm finding tons of residue. I want to give the person credit.
Oh my god, yeah. Hey, Brian, yeah, you want to talk about some of the other stuff that's on the list there?
No, but I want to know who I give credit to.
Give credit to for what?
For
finding
the
the
Sally, Jesse,
original.
Raphael.
Yeah.
Raphael goes to Nathiel, Winter-Hebert.
Nathaniel's the one who found this?
Yep.
So am I saying, is this correct? SALLYJESSE Raphael? Is that did I just find residue?
That's what it used to be. Yeah.
There's tons of it.
Oh yeah, that's what her name was.
It was never JESSY. That's really freaking me out. No. I just found tons of residue.
What about hang on, what about Regis and Kathy Lee Gifford? How is Kathy spelled?
Kathy.
Should be.
Look at it now. Look at Kathy Lee.
What?
What is it?
Hang on, I'll bring it up.
Look at all this residue.
I was going to say, Kathy has lost her charm. I'm looking at the mouth of a horse.
Oh yeah, because I have the screen share on. You're not just looking at the mouth of a horse. You're looking at the mustache on the mouth of a horse.
Oh, we got some pulling going on.
What do you guys?
Oh, I thought it was eating.
No,
I thought it
that's
was
a
eating
mustache.
hay. That's a mustache.
know.
I'm joking.
Horses
Oh
have
my God.
mustaches
I'm-
now.
Yeah, I
Look at this.
know.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Look at this.
It's a goat. It's a goat. It's a goat and with a goatee.
They better not change my Mr. Ed. Go check Mr. Ed real quick.
Oh, I was already about to check it earlier. I was thinking the same thing, man. I love Mr. Ed.
Yeah, and you
Mr.
know,
Ed probably has the full goatee.
So you look into this, right? It's not even like one breed of rare horse or something. There's like, and I'm not saying every horse is gonna grow a mustache, but there's like a whole bunch of breeds that do. And there's ones that don't, but there's
Man,
a whole bunch
and
that
then the
do.
bad part about it, he got black hair, but he got a blonde mustache.
oh
Look
my
how
god,
ridiculous it is, dude.
That's almost as
It's like,
ridiculous. That's almost as ridiculous as men having neck beards now.
yeah, pretty
oh
much.
man, that is crazy. And the other one, I can kill the screen share because I don't really. I'll just go on camera. I don't really have any pictures, up for it. But we should talk about it. I know we all How do I end the screen share? Okay, I see it.
Right there.
Yeah. So, what do you guys all think about all these different cartoon characters now, and
Yeah,
their eyes change, and most of them to yellow, and there are other ones too. Like we talked about Donald already a couple weeks ago with the blue. But you got like Tony the Tiger now, Tom and Jerry, the Pink
oh,
Panther,
they
the
changed
Seven
Scooby.
Dwarfs.
If they change Scooby Doo on me, I'll be pissed.
Oh, I thought you said they did. Well, they
And
changed
that's
Shaggy.
one of them I wrote down, Scooby Doo.
Oh, really? Well, they changed Shaggy. They took his Adam's apple. Remember?
Oh yeah. So he's not a man
So
now.
And he had a big Adam's apple.
what do you guys think? Because I'm always trying to look for patterns and stuff in all of this, and like we try and look for patterns in the lettering. Maybe it's some type of overlay
Well,
too. So
I think what's happening is because everything has. And see, that's why I disagree with people saying that the small stuff is irrelevant because
hell no.
everything that they're changing has something. It changes something else. It's almost like a rabbit. It's almost like pulling a needle from the haystack or clipping off your little bitty toe. Yes, it's insignificant, but it throws off the balance. And so every change that they do, it throws off the balance. May not be so significant that it it rips everything apart, but it's throwing things off of balance. And I believe it's tested.
I'm sorry, Brian. I'm trying not to laugh. He had Mr. Ed here with sunglasses on.
I had to.
Wilbur, where's your sense of humor, Wilbur?
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Kathy Lee Gifford. Look at Kathy Lee Gifford.
Yeah.
Changed.
Oh, look at the IE.
Yeah, I thought I was the only one. I don't know, man. Like,
No, it wasn't. It wasn't Kathy with an IE. Who was the other one besides Sally Jesse? Because I'm taking a couple notes. I should have wrote it down. Who was
Yeah,
the other
write
one we
down
just said?
Sally Jesse Raphael and
Stavely, and there was one
Kathy
more.
Lee Gifford.
Oh, I thought there was one more we talked about.
Yeah, that's why I subscribe to. I don't even think it's just messing with our reality. It's got to be a different reality that we're coming into because these people's names that's
Oh
changing,
yeah,
they don't even
there's more
realize
than
they
two.
change.
There's
And
more than
anytime
two,
you
in my
got people,
opinion.
No, I talked to Anne Rice personally on Twitter, and told her that the name of her book changed, and she said no, it didn't. So, and that was the first change that I ever saw.
you see, so
It
I
was,
think
you know what I mean? Like they don't see it.
so that theory that it's changing in just this reality, I believe we are. I think it's multiple bleeds.
Just crossing
Meaning
realities. It
we
has to
crossing
be.
realities, different
Yeah.
scenarios. Meaning
Yeah.
in the scenario before she was born, her mother might have thought maybe I want to do the IE, and then she did, and so
Yeah.
and see, and that's why some people that says, well, it's been that way all their life. you have to look at it with a big picture
Yeah.
because
Yeah, you got to be objective
if
about
we
it. You can't say that
Yes.
they're wrong because you have to. You look around and see like if there's like I don't agree with the Mandela effect, and I think it's not, what I would consider true to me. If I look and there's a lot of residue, I mean, I have to respect other people that's
Yeah,
probably an
no,
effect for them.
you're spot on, Brian. Like it's true because we don't all see the exact same thing.
and so and I think what happens is, and what I had to learn in this Mandela effect. Say if somebody say, "Well, it's been that way all my life." Well, of course, from this perspective, from this timeline, if you go backwards, it's always going to be that way because you shifted timelines, and so that's how it works. You is where you start, and you go backwards. And people might have been talking about the Mandela effect 30 years because that's where you start. You start
Yeah.
from the Mandela effect backwards.
I do agree that it's the little things do matter and they do add up. I feel like there are things that they can't just outright change because it would be too obvious. So I think that the things that are being changed are minute so that whatever their end goal is, whatever they're trying to change now, it will have been from the beginning that way, but they can't. So they're
No, like
trying little things.
yes, they're not. They're like I mean, it'll be scary if they could change the big things.
But it
You
is
know.
big things too. They moved South America 1,000 miles. They moved the
Right,
Statue of
right.
Liberty. They changed the
No, no.
JFK assassination.
I mean,
A
like
mixture.
I
You know
mean,
why people think it's the
But
little things? Because we have to show them the little things so it resonates with them. You start
Right.
talking about anatomy and history and shit, they don't know that. But you start talking about a song they might know or a TV show, that's going to resonate faster.
no. I'm just my. I guess my comparison would be if a billion people all of a sudden went missing. I
right.
mean, you know what I mean? You'd see that,
Well, they
right?
have. They
Oh,
have
yeah, yeah,
already.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
they
No, I
They
have
know,
have
I know the
already
went
been.
missing, but
population.
It used to be 9 billion people on the planet. Now it's only 6.
I'm making bad comparisons, I guess, tonight, but
well, what I was saying is, I guess I kind of subscribe to the butterfly effect. Did they mean to change the Statue of Liberty, or did they change something minor in the past that caused the change to the Statue of Liberty? Do
All
you
of this
see what
is
I'm saying?
all of this is cynical because even if I subscribe to that notion, what that has to do with the Bible? That's intentional.
Well, see, and
That's
that I
intentional.
think we see biblical changes, and I don't think they can outright change the Bible. But if they change things that have happened in the past, will it cause the Bible to change?
No, no, because the Bible,
You don't think?
the Bible shouldn't have unicorns in it.
No, you're right.
Bible shouldn't. Bible should because unicorns don't even exist. Bible shouldn't have in no time corn. Corn didn't exist in that time period, and
Right.
so
That's
and
right.
couches didn't exist, and so some
Bottles.
of these are we try to wrap our mind. See, the thing is, it's just like God. God say, um, 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 that he we can't think like him. We don't know his mind. And so if we don't know his mind, we definitely ain't gonna know the devil mind. So if it's cynical, and I'm only giving this option because this is what I subscribe to. If it's cynical, you know, we not gonna. We might have some inches, or we might have pieces to the puzzle that may be happening, but we not gonna nail it 100% down because it's going to constantly move. When we think we got it, then it takes another turn somewhere else, you know. And so, and I think some of these changes, some of them are tests. So maybe believers say, let's see, if we change this, let us change the Bible to this, or let us change their old cartoon, or let us change a song they might listen to. and see what they say now. Or let us put mustache on horses, and they still walk around say, well, ain't nothing happening. Oh well, not a lot. And he's telling the Father in heaven, see, I told you they don't know nothing. You told them to watch well as pray. You told them don't be ignorant of my devices, and they just walking around nonchalant like, oh well.
Guys, real quick. Ghazi in our chat has pointed out to me that the portrait of Dorian Gray, you guys all know that's an older Mandela effect. It's now a picture of Dorian Gray. Well, there is residue because in Turkish, it turns out that the word translates to portrait and not picture. Let me show you guys. A little bit of residue here. Okay, look. Oscar Wilde, Dorian Gray in Portacy. If you translate it using Google, it'll come out as portrait. You see? So there is still residue in the Turkish writing for that book. Also, I have another Mandela effect with Namus Nam says, I bet you remember seeing Edward, is it Munich or Munches? It Munches. Painting of Scream in 1893. You got to see this painting.
Yeah.
But ask yourself, why haven't I seen this one ever? Edward Munch's Despair, 1894. For my part, I have never seen this Despair painting before. Has anyone ever seen this? I'm just curious.
I'm too young.
Carol, you recognize this painting?
Yes,
You do?
I do.
It looks fitting.
Not the second one, but the first one.
Yeah, not the second one. I don't remember the second one.
It looks kind of fitting for our show. It kind of looks like a hockey mask. That's actually just okay. I figured I'd just bring that up briefly. Sorry to break your train of thought there. But yeah, does anybody remember the Butterfly Effect movie? The one with Ashley.
I love it.
Gucci Boy.
I love it. I was talking to people about that the other day. I love that movie.
Oh yeah, I wish they made part 2 better.
Yeah.
It was a great movie. First one.
That's one of those movies that's, even though it's not like about exactly what we're talking about, it's reminiscent of it enough. It like makes it's kind of that type of thought. Like I really like that movie a lot. Like way before
Brian.
this was.
Yeah.
What happened to the Mandela Effect movie that they supposed to be having?
That's what
What's
I'm
up? People talking.
Hey, what's up? Evan, is it you, brother?
Thank goodness. I could see myself this time.
Oh, thank goodness, brother. How you doing?
I mean, this could be better. I mean, it's okay,
We were just talking about the butterfly effect and, how one small change can make a huge one later on down the line.
Man, that is so true. How many other people are online right now?
We got 48 viewers right now.
Yeah, I see some other people in the chat room. I don't know any of you. Who are you?
Hi, I'm
Yeah, let me introduce you. We got Brian Stavely. We got MSE Man. Rebecca Masden. She's from Facebook. We got Corey, Speaker of Truth, and Carol. She's our journalist. So yeah, we have a photographer, we have a journalist, we have a preacher in here, we have a radio guy.
A preacher.
What?
Oh, that sucks. All these people, man. I'm gonna wear my disguise. I'm going under an alias tonight.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, look at that. I don't want to recognize me. You can't see my eyes. I'm a gangster. Don't be messing with me.
Evan, tell us about like what you were saying about the biblical prophecy, and you were telling me about some of the other effects. We talked last night about jars with Braille on them now, the Babel effect, my father's root beer.
Babel effect. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I got to interrupt you. Moneybag73, my favorite Mandela effect video maker, said request a name. the Mandela effect, this was coined after, this initial, person who found it. It's called the Babel effect, guys. Man, that's the new name. This is the Tower of Babel rebuilt. They're confusing the languages. It's like this right back to the Babel effect.
So they're using deception to confuse people, it seems.
That's never been done. No, man. It's not deception. Fluoride is good for your teeth. I'm not trying to deceive you at all, but there was a man that landed on the moon, and Christopher Columbus is coming to America. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'm back. I'm just messing with you, Bird Man.
What have you been drinking tonight? You've been drinking tonight.
Okay, we can change the subject. I'm sorry. Let's talk about my father's root beer.
What's wrong with him?
But sometimes you have to laugh about the Mandela effect for real. Okay.
I don't have one. No, man. I used to drink not my father's root beer, and now it's not your father's root beer.
It's your father's root beer now.
It's Theresa.
It better not. It better. Your mom's root beer. It might be. Some people might be upset.
No, I'm sorry. Why?
What? No, I said it better not taste your mom's root beer. Okay.
Yeah.
He had you something to drink tonight, didn't he?
He is feeling no pain.
All right. Let's get. We got to get back on track here.
That went south fast.
I muted him. Sorry, Brian.
Okay. Thanks, Seeker. Okay. So. Wow, I did not expect that. It's okay. It's okay, guys. We're just having fun.
Everybody in the chat was like, "What is going on?"
You had him a shot tonight.
All right. Well, we were going to talk about the Babel effect, and we had a really great conversation. Evan was giving me a story about the Energizer Bunny. How you guys
talking about the butterfly effect too before that went down.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to hear where you were going with that because you asked about the movie.
Yeah, and does anybody remember in the movie what happened at the end? Because I've heard there's an alternate ending now or something. Did the ending change?
Oh, I haven't seen it in a while. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm trying to get back in line.
Me too, man. Me too.
I'm trying to remember the ending.
You gotta have fun with the Mandela effect,
I
though.
watched it like 2 months ago, but I haven't watched it recently.
I don't even remember what happened at the end.
Oh, and guys, by the way, Meegs went to the Vanessa VA convention.
Yeah, how was it?
Probably countless others that are there. So she might submit some pictures and stuff. So we'll see. I really wanted to go, but I got to work overtime on Sunday. So,
we just got a $10 donation, so you might want to shout out for that one.
Oh, that was nice. Who donated?
Read what he wrote too. He donated with
Xavier, San Diego. Yeah.
It's
Brian,
Friday the 13th. Everything's upside down today.
Brian.
Yeah.
What is being showed on YouTube? Because I don't know if you see it, but I ain't looked at YouTube. But this man is I still got him on my string, and he tooting his booty up in there. So I don't know.
Oh my God, what's he doing? Yo, he's dancing on the camera, Brian. Brian, what is this guy doing?
I don't know if that's on YouTube. You better do something about that.
Oh gosh,
he didn't do anything that's gonna get you a strike, did he? What did he do?
He was tuning his booty in there. Dancing.
No, he wasn't.
Okay. It's all right.
What
Like
is
I
with
said,
that guy, dude? What is this crazy? He's crazy.
I told you he had something tonight.
guys, do you remember Jim Baker, Jimmy Swaggart, Benny
I
Hinn?
remember Swagger.
Okay, Jimmy. How do you
Yeah.
spell Jim Baker, guys? The okay.
That's coming from over there.
Xavier's San Diego. Okay, he says take a look at Jim Baker, Jimmy Swaggart, Benny Hinn, and now their names have changed. And Jimmy Baker has 2 Ks, Jimmy Swaggart has 2 Gs, and Benny Hinn has 2 Ns now.
Wow.
That's crazy. That'd be Jimmy Backer. That's ridiculous. And Jimmy Swaggart's wrong too. I don't really know the other name, but that's stupid.
No,
It's
no.
crazy.
Benny Hinn, I always remember him having 2 N's, but that might just be my memory. So
Yeah, no, like I mean,
Oh, that's okay.
nobody's wrong. Like we all have our own
And then see,
messed up memories,
Brian,
right?
Brian, when you have these spelling shows, I'm the wrong person.
well,
Spelling bee. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm stout.
so
I'm tapped
I
out.
have
Don't add any S's because we'll all be wrong.
so my memory is completely different than a lot of people with, everybody talks about Sally Fields and her saying, "You like me, you really
Yeah.
like me." I don't remember Sally Fields saying that. I remember Susan Lucci saying it. I remember why she said it. She said it because she had been nominated 9 years in a row, hadn't won. 10th year she was nominated, she won, and she got up and the first thing she said was, "You like me, you really, really like me." I can find no residue of it, but that's my memory of it. So it's everyone's is a little bit different, but
No. I
yeah.
remember Susan Lucci just because my grandmother made me watch, soap operas. It was the only thing we had in common. I didn't want to
All
watch
my
them, but
children.
You said
Yeah.
but
that's good torture.
I
I
Like,
remember
watched
I
Days of
watch
Our
these
Lives
soap
with my
operas.
mother. I'll admit it. Days of Our Lives.
Days of Our Lives. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I am Stefano Demera.
In there, you get tomorrow.
When Marlena got possessed, then it went all crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey guys, gotta ask you something about another possible ME. And Sheena, she plays a big part in the reality residue hunter as well as a lot of you other guys in there. She says, I noticed something. Does anyone else remember Laverne and Shirley? I remember Shirley wore an S on her shirts and sweaters, and Laverne wore an L. And now I can only find pictures of Laverne wearing her initial, but not Shirley.
Really?
Is that right?
I remember them both wearing it.
All right, let's look. I want to look at a picture now.
I don't remember an S. I remember Shirley wearing a black cat. She did have something that she stuck to her sweater, but I don't think it was an S. Shaped like an S? I don't know, but I remember it being like a cat.
And you could probably like if Theresa was here, if you look at Wayne's World, they make fun of it too. So you could probably find some residue on that.
As soon as you said that, there she goes.
Oh my goodness. Theresa, you there?
I think she's gone.
Theresa.
She popped up, but she ain't saying nothing.
I used to love Laverne and Shirley. I'm so cheesy. I used to love that.
Yeah.
Does anyone remember the S on Shirley?
Yeah.
I do. I don't.
I mean, it's like they're screwing with our heads, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the point. That's the whole point. See, the scripture said that they think about wearing out the saints, and that's what he's trying to do. Make us kooky.
God.
See, you know,
I don't know. That's just, it looks off. There's something really off about it when something ain't right.
It's kind of like how I married
Hello?
a max
Hello?
hey, Theresa.
murderer. Remember
Hey
that? Brian?
guys, it's a moon out tonight.
It must. I think it's a new moon. As of yesterday, I believe. I've been keeping track of it.
Has the moon been showing at all tonight? At
I
all?
didn't see it. I ain't look up there.
No, it's a new moon, which means it's black, completely dark.
No, but have y'all been seeing any moons tonight at all from anybody?
My foot,
Oh,
my pants fell down.
this guy
but-
in his pants.
I was trying to crack a joke and y'all didn't get it. I just
yeah.
heard.
Yeah, the man that was on here.
That
told
was a
his
joke.
moon.
Glory just told me what happened, so I was trying to be serious and nobody got it.
Yeah, he told
That's why I asked
the
if
moon.
what guys, what did I dismiss? Tell me what happened.
I don't
Man.
know. I don't know.
Is that a Mandela effect?
No, wait, Brian didn't do no vetting. You got to vet.
No, I want to know what happened.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, get me up to
A
speed.
lot of alcohol and drugs is what happened.
Yes.
Who?
Real quick, I muted him, and he's gone now.
Did he
so-
show anything he shouldn't have showed?
No, I don't think so. I wasn't looking.
No moons, no new moon, no big moons.
And he was on my screen, but I wasn't looking at the live stream, so I
But
don't know.
that's not. No, wait, guys, that's not him being. That's not normal for him. He's very serious.
He is very serious normally.
Yeah.
He didn't look too
Do you think maybe
serious.
do you think maybe he shifted?
Who knows?
Maybe.
We can use that, hey guys, we can use that as an excuse. Every time somebody acts weird, we're gonna say they shifted. How's that?
Yeah.
I think that was something that we all hope to forget tomorrow.
Yeah.
I really wish she could rewind it for me.
Brian might have to edit a little bit there tomorrow.
Brian, I want to see the original before you edit, okay?
About 20 seconds.
I want to, because I think he's kind of cute. Sorry.
Somebody got that. Look at her. You can't have that for your own personal thing.
I want my own personal video to keep.
You want to put it all on a personal file.
Brian, you better email me that.
Well, see, we know why that happened. That was just for Theresa. She was thinking about it.
Yeah, it figures that I can't see anything. Yeah, my luck.
That's when she jumps on, right?
Darn. I always miss all the good stuff. Shoot. Have you guys even discussed what today is? Like Friday the 13th? Anything about superstitions or anything? Anybody? Or is that something we're not talking about tonight?
No,
I'm superstitious.
Brian had the mask on, and I had.
No, but did anybody ever discuss it? Like, does anybody? Here's a question for everybody in the audience and you guys. Does anybody have any like phobias or anything that they're very, like don't walk near a black, don't get near a black cat, or if you spill salt. I mean, I do some of those things. I literally, if I spill salt, I throw it on my shoulder. Does anybody have any phobias or anything we could talk about?
And don't put your hands on my food.
On your what?
Don't dig your nose and put your hand on my food.
On your
That's
food?
like a pet peeve.
Oh.
That's a pet peeve more than a phobia.
No digging in the
No,
nose.
on your what?
On my food.
Spell that.
It's food.
F-O-O-D.
I don't think I'm hearing it right. You need to spell that. You said don't put your hands there, and then you had Evin stripping, so I don't know what to say.
Food.
On your what?
You got to remember that Theresa says she goes riding on the bus with the bus driver.
Don't even go there, Corey. I have to stand at a pole.
Yes.
And the pole gets really hot.
Yes.
That was funny. That was hilarious. I laughed for hours on that one.
It really is a hot pole, guys. I have to, if I touch the pole, it like burns my hands.
Hey, Brian, can I ask that question?
Go ahead, man.
To the chat. Have anybody heard of the real ID?
No. What is the real ID?
Oh yes, I have it. I have it.
I heard about it.
I have it.
Wait, you have the real ID on you?
Yes, actually, it's my driver's license. It's got a star in the corner. Yes, it allows you to get in federal courthouses and also to fly. And let me tell you guys what, it's nothing a big deal to get. All you have to do is show your driver's license, your old one. You have to show your marriage license. You have to show any divorce records. You have to prove where you live, like a power bill or a gas bill, social security card. You don't have to give no blood, thank God. And it's very simple to do. I've got it. It's called the Real ID. It's not a big deal, guy. Trust me, I already did it. Just make sure you have all your correct paperwork.
But you
And
know
no, you don't get chipped.
You know what it's for, though. And the only reason it become a real a big idea is because it's to put you in a federal database so they can track you when they get the system up and running. And so
No. There's no chip. I don't have no chip in me. There's no chip in it. Basically, they're just telling me so you can get in, you can fly and get in the courthouse. That's it.
Well, you can do that with your real ID. You can get in the courthouse with your real ID. Why they had to make a new ID just to get in the courthouse and fly? See, the thing what people don't realize is that ID that you have is a federal ID now. They're putting you in a database.
Really?
Federal database.
No, let me take it out. Let me see what it says. Let me take it out.
That's why that's why you have that barcode on there now.
Wait a minute. I haven't looked at it that close. Let me look. Hold on. Now you got me curious, E-Man.
Well, not only that, but what I was reading about it was that it's not just getting your picture taken. They're actually doing a facial recognition.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you.
Putting your face in a database.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. So it is a big deal. It's
That's
because
why they made me take my glasses off.
Yes, because they want to put a facial recognition software that's going to be handled by AI. So you just signed up for AI, Theresa.
Well, I'm going to stay human.
But
I don't care how much they turn me into AI. I'm staying human all the way, blood for blood.
What's concerning is it's mandatory that everyone has it by 2020.
Yes, and that's why I got mine now. And guess when mine expires, guys? 11/12/2020.
You gotta do it again.
Hey, Theresa, I have a funny picture.
But I'm already in the system. But I'm still alive, guys. I'm still me. I'm still affected. I haven't changed.
But watch
Not
this.
yet, at least.
The problem with the situation is they already had IDs with your picture on it. They already got your face in the state computer. Why do they need a whole new batch of faces and make it mandatory?
So if they implemented this in Nevada, where else would they implement this now? Because I just got mine last year.
In the whole country, it's mandated. If you don't get it by 2020, you won't be able to travel, or you won't be able. And that's just a start.
Correct.
That's the beginning.
Correct.
That's the beginning punishment. You see, you don't know the rest of punishment if you keep on denying this mandatory change. You know, and see the purpose of it. See, people don't realize what the purpose was. They tried to pull it off as a national security thing but they couldn't let that fly because President Bush did that in 2005. Now, after the terrorist attack, but because 9/11 got so many holes in it, and everybody, so many conspiracy theories, especially the way the building came down and the brother leaving the building, there was insecurity. So they had to let that sit there until 2014. Now that's 10 years later. And so didn't nobody really know, but I didn't know about the real ID. And so now it's at the borderline, and now they still haven't really told nobody about the real ID. Only thing gonna happen is people gonna get things in the mail saying you better get you a new ID. It's mandatory, and so before they research it, they gonna run out and hurry up and go get it. I didn't know until somebody told me about it. I didn't know nothing about a real ID, just like most of the people on this panel don't know what a real ID is.
Yeah. Well, I found out about it. I called. I got information about it. I was on the phone about 20 minutes talking the poor DMV guy's head off, and I was prepared. And I said, "What kind of paperwork do I need?" And I made an appointment. I had all my paperwork in a big yellow envelope. I had no problem. I said, "Here's this. Here's this. Here's that." No problem. I was in and out of there within a half an hour. But if anybody does this, make sure you make an appointment before you go to the DMV so you can get in and out fast. Trust me, it was simple.
And the bad part about that is, why would I need all of that information when you already got it? Why would I have to resubmit? Well, I'm already in the system for the state system, so, and I already got a Social Security card when I first got my ID.
Oh, I know.
Why is it so important for me to re-enter all of this stuff and extra stuff? And then look on your back of your ID, you have a certain barcode that I don't know if that star has a low transmitter.
Let me look. Hold on.
Because every ID.
Let me look and see if it's got a transmitter. Well, I put my ear next to it and it's not beeping. E-man? I put my ear next to the star and I don't hear no transmissions.
Because it's
Theresa, you have a picture. What kind of star is it? Is it a 6-pointed star or a 5-pointed?
Would you like me to take a picture of it? I can do that for y'all.
Yes.
Well, let me do that right now. Hold on. Let me get some light where I'm at.
Hey,
I will take a picture.
I got a shout out to Tanette in the chat here. She says the real ID is a precursor.
Hold on. Let me take a picture and try to block out. I'm going to block out part of my information, but I want you to see the rest of the idea. How's that? Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Okay, hold on. Let me try to do that for you. Let me get some scissors. I want you to see what they look like. Maybe that might help y'all. Oops, I'm going to block it out. My information. Give me a second here.
You can type it in Google. It'll tell you, show you how it looks.
Yeah. My concern too is that they're now talking about installing checkpoints.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that's going to be from state to state, if it's going to be within the city. I don't, but they're talking about checkpoints that they're going to start erecting these checkpoints to check for the real ID.
And see, so it seems to be just something real minor, but trust me, it's major. And so we look at it as minor, but it's real major. They want this right there.
Yeah, there's the star right there. What is that? What's all that about?
Brian, hold on. Brian.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm going to show you mine.
Hold on a minute. Does mine have that? It better not.
No, I'm going to show you mine. Hold on. I'm taking the picture. I'm just trying to block out my personal information here, guys. Hold on.
Well, we got samples. We got samples of Theresa.
Well, I want you to see the one I got. Hold on.
What? Hey, I have the star on mine.
Yep.
No.
You're already in the system.
Holy no! This is a Mandela effect. I didn't have a star in there before.
I'm telling you. That's why I say, do y'all know this? Cause it's like nonchalant.
What? No.
Camera that way.
Everybody check your driver's license now. I'm being serious.
I recently moved from Kentucky to Michigan and tried to get my Michigan driver's license, and I took down my normal, what I've always taken down to get my driver's license, and they said, "Oh no, we need an official birth certificate showing that you are your driver's license." And I didn't understand why. Well, then I found out that Michigan is a state that has already converted to the real ID. I don't remember how many states, but there's a chart somewhere online where you can see the states that have already converted.
I got it on my channel. I did the video maybe about 3 days ago.
Okay, I might have been watching your video.
And it's only about 10 states that's still not in compliant, and Illinois is one of them. Everybody else is green.
Wow. I wish I could go back and look at my other ID. See, I had one ID because I'm a veteran. Like I know in Georgia, like they let you have it until like you're 65, but now they changed it. It only lasts for 30 years or something like that. So I have to get it redone again.
So you don't remember how to take all that stuff in to get that real ID, Brian?
No, what all do you have to do to get the ID?
You gotta take your birth certificate. You gotta take your social security card. You gotta take a proof of address. So a whole lot of stuff.
I don't remember having to do that.
Well, they might just be lazy. They say, give your ID. Skip it. Don't worry about it here.
Did you say you have a government ID, Brian?
Brian?
I have a star on my ID card
Like
now.
a military? Do you have a military ID as well?
Do it say state ID or do it say federal ID?
I have a military ID.
Did you have to show that when you got your new driver's license?
No, I didn't have to show.
Oh.
No. That's
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
I need to
weird.
go.
I
Your
thought
state,
maybe they got the information from that.
Yeah, your state lazy. Let me go to your state.
That's just weird. Just to let you know, from a different country, we don't have to do that. Like, they want to upgrade the picture. That's pretty much what they're worried about.
Can anyone else verify besides me and other people here? Can anyone else verify that their ID? Does anyone remember
Mine
that?
does not. Mine does not have it.
Brian, yours doesn't?
No, I just checked.
How old is your
And here's mine.
My license was issued to me
Here.
about 1.5 years ago. It was issued to me.
Well, you're going to get a letter telling you got to get down there and get another one. You will get a letter.
Brian, here's what mine looks like.
Theresa, what'd you say?
There.
What is that? Theresa, it sounds like you got like squirrels running around over there. what are you saying?
I just sent it to you, Brian.
Okay, I'll look. What if you don't have your birth certificate? Then you're doomed.
Yeah, really.
Yes, actually, you have to have your birth certificate or try to get a copy of it. I found mine, and it has and why I had to have my marriage license and my divorce records is because it still had my maiden name on it, even though I'm divorced. I didn't go back to my maiden name, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they making sure that you stuck in their system.
Oh yeah, I had to have everything.
This may seem small, but trust me, this is the first step to get you in their database.
Yeah.
And then the next step is to make sure that you get it. Then next step, mandating that you put a chip in your arm.
That's never going to happen to me. But I just want to say the only thing I needed my birth certificate for was to go to the States for my passport. So they got my name down there because I've been down there a few times, right?
I mean, everybody that got an ID, they ain't got the star on it. Your ID is fake.
Let me see what it says on our website about it. Hold on, let me see what I can find out. What it says about the Nevada ID, because they talk all about it. Let me see what it says.
See, what really baffles me about the situation is, you ain't heard nothing on the news. Ain't nobody said nothing on TV. It's something to be this mandatory. Why they ain't talking about it?
Well, because CNN.
Well, I found out about
everything else, but like they're talking about Trump and if you went to the bathroom or whatever.
Here we go.
But I don't want to talk politics, whatever.
Well, it seems to be the question of why they're not talking about it. I think it's what they're doing is they're putting it under the radar.
Here it is.
People get the new driver's license, and so people just think, well, I'm doing my driver's license, and they are not even aware that they're getting the real ID and what that means.
Nope.
Can I read something to you guys?
That's a good point, Rebecca.
Thank you, Rebecca. Go ahead, Theresa. What were you saying?
It says right here, to obtain a real ID compliant license, Nevadians must take to the DMV one document providing identity and legal presence, a state-issued birth certificate or valid U.S. passport, for example, proof of their Social Security number, or a Social Security card, W-2 form, or IRS Form 1099, for example, and 2 documents providing. There's a lot of stuff you have to take, but you don't have to get this. You only get this like, let's see, issued 8/19/2016, and it expires 11/12/2020. So it's good like 4 years. But next time when I go, I'm going to have to pay more money in 2020 because then it's going to be good for 7 years. So you're paying a lot more money the longer you have to go without it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it had to do what year you were born. Like this year, I was born in '63 when I went and got it. But if I would have been born in '64, I would have had to got the more expensive one and had longer time with it. Does that make sense?
But the whole thing about it is not going to get another ID. It's to get us in the system, and that's the whole reason I brought it up. It's another step on their chess move, and because people think it's a nonchalant thing, it's all right, and it's not really.
Something
just
about
to put you in a database, a federal database, first of all.
Yeah.
And then for facial recognition, so they can track you where you've been, where you're going, and all of that. And when Amazon is already have a software that can do that, and they beginning to work with the government to implement it everywhere, and how Amazon is taking over. Amazon is now the new Walmart. I mean, they in everything.
Yeah, I noticed that. Amazon getting a lot of orders.
They in transportation. They in stores now. They over pharmaceutical, and so and then now they're implementing this software and giving it to government agencies. Like in my city, they got cameras going up everywhere. And so, trust me, that's why the 5G will be up and running before 2020, and you're gonna see more and more cameras go up. And
did you know the Homeland Security sees it?
We going down the same rabbit hole as China. They just not telling us. We
actually, Brian.
Yes. Yes, Theresa, what were you saying?
Hey, Cameron, guys, so story to the next door to Walmart. I want to show you some things I took pictures of. I was shocked.
You guys hear that?
Do you mind if I share them with you? It's brand new.
I
Wait
thought
till
I heard a
you
whisper.
see these pictures. I'll show you.
Okay, I don't know.
These are all brand new.
It sounded like a
Like
dog line.
literally. Wait till you see this.
Yeah, my Walmart, they've been putting up these portable.
Look at this, Brian. Brian, look.
Portable police cameras.
Look at this. I think it's exactly what I'm sending Brian right now. Brian, can you share this and ask E-Man, is this what he's talking about? Because they're all over the place.
Yeah, these portable police cameras.
This.
Yeah. What's up with that?
Yeah, I did a video on that about 5 months ago. I asked him why. Yeah, portable.
Show E-Man this.
Yeah, I'm
Yep,
showing.
that's it.
That was
That's
today, and I
Yeah,
asked what it was all about, and they're like, "Oh, cars are getting that all the time." You know what
Yep,
their
I did.
excuse was? I said, "What's going on with all these weird-looking cameras?" Oh, cars have been getting broken into and stolen. Bull crap.
Yep, that's what I did a video on about 4 months ago. Cause I asked them the same question. Why are we getting all these portable solar panel
Yeah, look at these.
video
There was
cameras?
like 2 or 3 of them in the parking lot, and I was like, so I'm standing there taking pictures of them. I know they see me taking pictures of them, and I'm like waving at the camera.
I knew exactly what she was talking about, so she said it.
Brian, can you share that?
Yeah, I'm sharing it right now.
This is today, guys, this afternoon, after work today, probably around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe a little later. I was like, what the heck are these? And I'm like, okay, picture time.
Yep. And they couldn't even tell me again what it
Oh,
was.
I know that, and I know. What do you guys think of that?
What was the TV show?
It's crazy.
It's weird for sure.
Yeah, I know. And look, I try to take good pictures of them for you guys.
Yeah, that's why I said these real IDs. Yeah. Boy.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
It's like Big Brother's watching you everywhere now.
Yep.
What do you guys think of that?
I can't remember
What were you saying, Rebecca? Go ahead.
there was a TV show, and I can't remember the name right, where the computer was watching everybody, and it was doing the facial recognition, and there was really smart look at with the glasses. I can't remember the name of the show, but that's what all of this reminds me of. Does anybody remember that show? It was on a few years ago.
Candid Camera?
No. It was a fictional show, but
if you go
what was it about? I'm sorry.
If you go
Big Brother? You mean Big Brother?
No. It was the guy, Jesus Christ, the Gibson Passion of Christ. He was in it. I can't remember the name of the show, but it's all about you would go through and try to prevent death, and this computer would speculate, and send codes, and they would have to go and figure out what the computer was trying to say. But it was all about facial recognition and watching everything everybody did.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name.
Tonette said in the chat that I don't know if you guys seen the TV show Person of Interest, but that's what they used was they used the cameras as facial recognition.
Wow. I wonder if that's what these things are doing, these cameras.
Yeah, maybe.
Of course.
Maybe I should moon it next time.
Wait, Rebecca, who was in that one?
Who?
Who was in that TV show? Was it a Person of Interest?
It was First. That was the name of the show.
Oh, wow. What was the name of it?
But it's a whole series on it.
I can't hear you. What was the name of it?
It was a show. It was called Person of Interest. It had I can't remember his name, but it was the guy that played. I don't know if you've seen the Passion of the Christ.
He was in the phone booth movie, wasn't he?
I don't know, but he was in Passion of Christ. Like he played Christ. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson.
That was Mel Gibson. Oh no, he was.
Here it is. I found it.
Theresa, you had some effects. Any new effects to bring up?
It says the guy's name is Jim Cazale.
Yeah, Jim Cavelli. Yeah.
Cavelli. He played a CIA agent Reese and a billionaire software genius Finch, played by Michael Emerson. Joined forces as
Yeah.
Right.
It looks like the final episode dated on June 21st, 2016.
Yeah, it was canceled. Yeah.
Sorry. I thought I'd look it up.
I watched it because I know I loved it, and it got canceled.
Tim Caviezel, that's his name. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Tim Caviezel. Yeah, Tone.
I really want to share my
Tone
residue, Brian. I want to share my residue.
Okay, go ahead. We're at the very end here, guys. So if there's any new effects or any residues you want to share, by all means.
Oh yeah, Brian, did you know about the You Spoil Me program with Samsung?
Wait, what is it?
Called You Spoil Me. And what it is Samsung now is telling the masses that if you want to watch your TV show like it's brand new again, that they can erase your memories and you can watch your show like you never watched it before.
It's called You.
Well, it's kind of
Hey guys,
in comparison. It's like watching the Jack Ruby shooting Oswald. Like it looks like it's new video. You know what I mean? Like it's not faded black and white, right? It's funny how I don't know, they had high def or something all of a sudden. You know what I mean? You guys knows that?
Yeah.
What did they erase your memory?
Well, they got the program that they utilize, and they tell you to watch it for 23 minutes. I went over the program. I didn't look at it, but I wanted to hear it. It's telling you to step on the timeline, go backwards, remember to disremember. It's talking you through it, and then but the thing that stood out to me is they use time, talking about going back in the time and stand on the timeline. That was the first thing, and the second thing was he said go to sleep that night, and he don't know what you're gonna dream, but he guarantee you the download will happen. So your download will happen during your sleep.
And what's it called? What email? What's it called?
You Spoil Me. It's by Samsung.
Unspoil Me?
Yeah, Unspoil Me, yeah.
What? You can watch your favorite TV series as if it was for the first time. What?
Mm-hmm.
It tries to hypnotize you through the computer.
Brian, I sent you a message there on the group chat there.
So I think what's happening is they're going to get people to think that this is cool, and whoever ain't been whoever haven't been transformed to this timeline, after you look at that, you will.
Oh my God! How'd you find out about this, E-Man?
I told you, I'll be researching.
Look at this. Website claims it can erase your memories of TV shows so you can watch them again.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Maybe not click on it.
Oh man, I'm scared. I'm scared.
Yeah.
My memories are already being erased.
Yes, exactly.
I think that's the reason they want whoever ain't memory ain't erased. After you look at that, your memory will be erased. I like it's fun. See, that's what I'm talking about.
That
They want to make it look like
what?
Rebecca, sorry, what were you saying?
I'm sorry. What I was going to say is, what's frightening is they're taking that away. Are they adding anything when they do it?
That's what I'm talking
Because
about.
it's talking about
See what I'm saying?
so they could add anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why we're so different, because that it's not just the Mandela effect. I think that our brains are, for whatever reason, I don't know. I'd like to say safe from them trying to erase it. You know what I mean? Do you guys think that or what?
Well, as long as we don't dip and dab into none of these new ventures, that's why I try to warn people before they get into involved in it, because it's bigger than just, it's just like a chess game. You gotta have all of your things in places before you strike. And so all of these are just what they call that preparations.
Right.
And so they want to make sure, they want to get it in your psyche that it's nice to get your memories erased. Because next thing you know, they're gonna say, well, if you had a traumatic situation that you wanted to forget, we can put you on a different timeline so that tragedy don't happen. And so it's gonna make it seem like it's fun and unique. And so I see this rabbit hole that we beginning to venture down, and they doing it slowly but surely. They pulling at the strings real light.
Guys, yeah, they pull out the strings for sure. I don't know what's happening with our connection, guys. I'm so sorry about this.
It's no. I think it's just the computer trying to screw with us.
They don't want
Like
to.
that. It's been like that since the start.
That's because we're talking about some real stuff, and
Yeah.
they want the information
Hey,
out.
Brian.
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah, Theresa.
I was talking to Gloria about something earlier that I posted in my Facebook group. You know how we have people who are dying and they're coming back? Remember how that's been happening a lot lately?
Yeah.
I just came up with an idea that I posted earlier today, Brian. What if they're being cryo, how the heck you said that word, cryo, you know, where they freeze them? What if some of those people who are coming back have been frozen? And I did post it in the group about that. What do you think of that idea? Some of the people that we remember dying, what if they wanted to be frozen?
Yeah, but if they were frozen, wouldn't they come back as the same age as they were when they disappeared, not as like a progressively older person?
Right.
That's true, but maybe they did that on purpose.
Do you think? No, let me ask you this: do you think that some organization has come up with the ability to transfer your consciousness, like let's say to a clone?
Yeah, of course.
You think they have the technology?
Of course they got. You got clones. You got clones sitting among you. Some of these celebrities. Perfect example. One clone that I know is a clone is what's his name? The comedian Dave Chappelle. He don't look like he used to look. Matter of fact, he likes he's big boned now. Dave Chappelle was a frail looking guy. And even his uncle said, and when he left the States, he would never come back to do comedy ever again. And he told his uncle, gave him the number, and his uncle said, when he called him, he had like he didn't know who he was. And so, of course, and they tell you, if you look online, they tell you that they can transfer your thoughts and your memories and things into computers. And they tell you, they done told us that they can clone humans. We've been knew they could clone humans because they just recently had the monkeys that they cloned. They say they couldn't clone a long time ago, but now they can clone. But they've been can clone. They just telling us now that they can clone. Yeah, they've been cloning. That's old. That's old school.
Yeah.
Now,
No.
can they transfer?
You
Can
guys
they
don't watch.
transfer one memory to another? I'm not sure about that. I don't know if they. I'm not sure if they can do that, but maybe AI can. But I don't know if they have the ability. They maybe can have a mimic or some form of fashion. But if you look at over like I don't like conspiracy theories, but you know, Yeah, they've been cloning people for a long time. They clone meat. They clone meat. They make, matter of fact, they say that's how we're gonna sustain because now they're gonna begin to clone meat. And if you want to taste your celebrity, you can taste how they meat tastes. I said, huh? They can clone your favorite celebrity as meat, and you can eat your favorite celebrity. I said, if you look at
Oh,
if
that's
all this
disgusting.
cannibalism and all of this seem to be nice, and they begin to put these shows where people eating raw meat, the blood just gushing out, so they making it seem like it's nice.
Yeah, I was about to say just you guys don't watch TV as much as I do. I mostly stream it and stuff, but the new show that was based on Superman before Superman came, Krypton, is they had people cloned in bodies like and stored, like you're saying, like you know what I mean, like it could, like they have it on TV show, I know, but it could actually happen. You know what I mean? Like if they're already thinking about it on TV, it could be happening in real life. You know.
Yeah, true.
I mean, if you look at some of the people, if you look at look at Oprah, look at if you pull up Oprah and you look at 10 pictures of her, none of them gonna look the same. None of the facial features gonna look the same. How do your facial feature change? How
And
do
you
your
know,
facial feature change?
and you notice that she hasn't been like on TV that much either. So maybe she's like got an upgrade, and so she's hiding herself or something. You never know.
It's a lot. It's a lot of things in the background that the government won't tell you. That's why they call it classified. And a lot of things you may not want to know. Uh, Now, do I have problems with cloning? Not really. If the person died, I have a problem if you killing them and then cloning them to do your will. But if I had a son that had a terminal disease and he had to die, and I can pay to get him reinstated with health, would I do that? Yeah, baby, cool. But the form that they using, they not using it for the good. They using it for the bad. And
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
if you know what God says, and Jesus says, and I always wrestled with that when He told His disciples, "You gonna after me,
Oh,
you gonna do greater things than I did." And I always wonder, what could be greater than raising the dead? Huh?
No,
What do you think could be greater than raising the dead?
I would never be cloned of because of God and Jesus, because I believe when it's our time, it's our time. I don't want to be some other person in some other body. Like
Well,
my
see,
Ooh,
my
I've never
time
been able to miss the
time
bubbles.
my time is my time, and
now what,
that's it.
Corey? With that theory, that especially what we know, time don't exist. And the way the Mandela effect, anything can be started over again. If you can make people like they're dead come back to life, I mean that time that they said is your time must have wasn't your time. And so because it's not set in stone, I believe that we thought after this life, it was it. That's it, and that's all. But it ain't. It's something after that, and um, we all might be just recurrent entities, meaning duplicates, and not of the same thing, but of the same essence. And what I mean by that is how many people on in the Mandela effect recently have any deja vu? I ain't having deja vu in a long time. And so maybe the reason why I'm not having any deja vu, because this is the first time I'm experiencing what I'm experiencing now.
Yeah, well, I don't want to get into philosophy big time there, but I mean, and it's probably why I failed the course when I was in college. But I couldn't believe in the facet of the cave. And if you know what the cave is it's us chained up to the wall, and we're seeing reflections like of our life, like we're living. And I personally couldn't believe in that. Like I just it's just a horrible, like it's like being in hell pretty much. Like I can't believe in that.
Hey guys, we're gonna have to cut. E-Man,
Hmm?
E-Man, can you lead us out with a prayer, please, sir?
Oh
Yes, sir.
yes sir, go ahead.
Father God, I thank you for the gathering. I thank you for everybody that came on the panel. I thank Brian for opening up the avenues and giving him the ability to
Residue.
open up the eyes, and thank you for everybody that investigates and to see what's going on. We thank you for the eyes that's been open. We thank you for every idea. We thank you for every body that has an open mind and an open heart. And God, watch over everybody that's on the panel. God, keep your hands of protection all around them. God, oh God, we thank you for everybody that came into this chat. God, we thank you for every typed word, every idea, everything that's been found or been spoken of. God, we thank you for them sharing their time and want to know the truth, God. And God, we thank you for those that will click on this video after it's broadcast. God, give something that we have said, God, so somebody else's eyes could be open and somebody can have enlightenment, God. Well, Lord, keep us and watch over us. And in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so
Amen.
much, E-Man.
Amen.
I hope everybody has a happy and safe weekend. You know, it's like 100 degrees here every day. uh, Definitely, you know, spend some time with your family. Okay, I know it can be confusing times and everything. We need people. Definitely, just love people. You know, undying love.
Yes.
That's what it calls for.
Yes.
And with that said, everybody have a great Mandela Effect night. And God bless. Okay.
And God bless everybody that came in the chat.
And good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, guys. Good night.
Night.